Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Really appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Do what the thing says on the screen. You see it right there, right? Appreciate you. All right, so today, it's about time we do this. We have to talk about, a certain IP, a property that is very important to me that we haven't had any games for yet. Okay, this is Dragon Ball, right? All the versions of it, fantastic series. Blew my mind when the first time I saw Dragon Ball. Didn't know what to say when I saw Dragon Ball Z. Man, I kind of felt the way when I saw GT, but it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. None of that matters, right? We got to talk about Dragon Ball games, and we hadn't talked about any of them. And there's a bunch of them that I would like to talk about before we end this thing. But we got to take it back to the first one that I had a physical copy of. And I don't care what you say, at the time it was the greatest thing I'd ever touched, because Dragon Ball is the greatest thing. This is Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. I know I was very long-winded to get started, and I kind of drug it out. But that's because I know that when I show you the gameplay of it, it will be very underwhelming if you don't know what it is. And if you know what it is, you're probably laughing at the fact that I drug it out because I knew that I was going to show you Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. But either way, right? Just they were doing something, okay? I don't know what it was. Now, I will still maintain that this is not the worst Dragon Ball fighting game for the PlayStation. Like, I'm just going to keep it in that area. This isn't the worst. It may have the worst voices because they had like some British people doing Vegeta's voice, but it's still better than Ultimate Battle 22. Anyway, this game was like also my first foray into, I guess, playing burned or like import games. Not because this game I had imported. I actually had a English copy of this, but later on I didn't have the game anymore, and my friend said he had it, but it was the Japanese copy and he could show me how to play it on my system. So that's a whole nother thing in itself. So, a lot of memories tied to this game, and not a lot of them, I guess, great, but for some reason I've purchased this game twice, and then I've acquired it a few other times. But there's some things that they were trying. The little meteor combos are kind of cool sometimes, right? The controls, like, they just do what they want to, and the computer will win every beam battle that you try, like every single time. I'm playing the game on easy, by the way. Like, I have no shame. I was always awful at this game, but it was Dragon Ball, and it was the only Dragon Ball we had. So sometimes you got to deal with what you got to deal with. Like, the names are not spelled correctly in the translation. Like, there were so many questionable things, but it was Dragon Ball, and I needed it because, I have no shame. But the game was, it was something. It was visually, I think the greatest thing for me was, like, I had a video game visualization of Dragon Ball. And that was really important at the time because I felt like, this was late 90s, and we really hadn't gotten to being like having anime be accessible. So like every ounce of anime I wanted, because it felt like, I always enjoy cartoons and animation and, artistic things like that. But, this was obviously something different, and we had never had this. And, it was like the love for martial arts and all that stuff was influenced, the video game-esque super moves, all of that stuff. It was just like, I needed all of it. And, the game exists as it exists. So there was a very prominent time, like a prominent amount of time where, like, I played this game, and it never got any better. And I never got any better at it, but like, it would be on and things would happen on the screen and I would go, yep, that's fine. Also, it has one of the craziest boss fights from when you fight Baby Vegeta. Like, that fight is just, it's weird. And it's dumb, and I had no idea what was going on because I also had no frame of reference for GT because I hadn't actually watched any of it by this time. So I'm just like, what is happening? And it doesn't say Baby Vegeta, it just says Super Baby. So I was just like, all right. So it looks like a Saiyan thing, but he says he wants to kill the Saiyan, so I didn't get it. But still cool. If you are a fan of this game, please let it be known. Comment, let me know your thoughts. For those of you who have anything less to say than glowing things about this game, we don't need your negativity over here. Let me just say that. But it's cool. You know, you voice your feelings, right? But I do appreciate you letting me reminisce with you. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.